I'm the Gentleman Wake, and in this episode, we take a look at what I think is one of the best releases to ever come out of prolific playing cards manufacturer Theory 11. Plus, I'm giving away a deck of these amazing cards. And also, I announced the winner of my biggest giveaway yet, the 2019 Top 10 Decks giveaway. And remember, for the best in content designed for the playing cards enthusiast, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Theory 11 has had a dodgy, if maligned, reputation on this channel and really amongst the card collectors of the world. So often Theory 11 playing cards releases feature gorgeously intricate and sophisticated tuck boxes, only to underwhelm those who buy the decks on the promise of the tuck boxes alone. Standard faces, inconsistent choices, and back designs that often let down the brilliant artwork on display. Fortunately, I think we've finally come to the moment of reckoning, and ever since the Provisions playing cards, which I reviewed early last year, there's been a turn for the better when it comes to maintaining the standard of Theory 11 decks past looking at the cases. Now, for the record, I'm not saying my criticism is what finally got through to them. It's almost certainly the collectively loud voices of card enthusiasts, or rather their wallets. But let's not sweat the details of the labor. Instead, let's enjoy the spoils. These are the Derren Brown playing cards released in December 2019. At first glance, the front of the tuck box actually appears to be a rather simplistic design compared to older, seemingly more elaborate releases like the Citizens deck or the Hudson playing cards. The front features the words playing cards in gold foil embossing with a large ornamented capital letter P, similar to what you'd find adorning the first word in a long passage of an illuminated manuscript. Underneath, in understated text, it reads courtesy of Derren Brown. More on him in a bit. There are also extremely subtle black foil stampings on the front in the form of gentle filigree and scrollwork framing. It's a uniquely modest design until you turn the tuck box and realize it's been designed to look and feel like a wonderfully crafted leather-bound book. One of the things I love about the learned high societies of Europe, specifically the English manor life, is the prominence of libraries, reading rooms, and studies in the typical estate. I've talked about the influences that led to the creation of this space in a video I made dedicated to the gentleman study, and honestly, it's not hard to see from where and whom I drew inspiration. Now, we don't live in a manor house, nor do we have the space for a massive two-story library, but one of the features of this room is the heavy bookcase. In that bookcase, there's a slew of leather-bound, well, admittedly bonded leather-bound classic books. It's just something we wanted to have. It's almost as if the experience of a leather-bound book begins not with the first page of the story, but with the quality and the feel of the book itself. The smooth textures, the raised embossing, intricate filigree, the typesetting, the solid weight in the hand, even the smell. To that end, the Derren Brown deck and the limited edition box set, which we'll get into a little later, is a perfect fit for my sensibilities. So if the front of the tuck is the book's cover, then it follows that 3 of the 4 sides of the tuck box would be the book's pages, and so they are. Where the pages would be found on a book, the tuck features finely ridged gold foil embossing meant to simulate the gilded edges of a finely printed edition of your favorite classic novel. The final side is representative of what would be the book's binding or spine, and here the tuck does not disappoint. Wonderfully intricate gold foil embossed placard style typesetting. The center point of the design is a large moth with curled spiral antenna. The back of the tuck introduces us to the highly ornate and intricate back design with a gold and black foiled, highly embossed representation of the card backs inside. We'll delve more into the design when we look at the cards in detail. The tuck flap is sealed with a muted red die-cut seal that promises the deck to be an illustrated first edition. The interior of the matte green cardstock box features a gold foil repeating pattern that samples Derren Brown's logo, as we'll look at in more detail in a moment. The book motif is really taken to the next level by the limited edition box set. Designed to once again mimic a leather-bound book, the box set adds a few more convincing elements to the ruse. The 2-deck set does this by not just increasing the overall weight through the use of solid materials, enough to approximate the solid heft of a real book in the hand, but also by lining the quote-unquote book cover in a matte green soft touch velvety material, which features deep green embossing and gold foil stamping. Where the pages would be, we get a glimpse of the veneered rosewood deck tray with dovetailed joinery and visual grain oriented to give the appearance of the stacked, weathered and worn pages of a beloved book. The front of the box set really captures the book vibe with the ornamented filigree. In fact, it's the same filigree found on the card backs. The middle of the design on the front has been left vacant, instead replaced with Derren Brown's all-seeing eye logo, a cleverly designed ocular circle with an hourglass in the middle with the initials D and B, the latter in backwards orientation subtly hidden within. The back of the box set is a full representation of the back design in deep green embossing, with the only new elements added being 2 rows of gold stamped text along the top and bottom. The Latin phrase ut ameris amabilis esto, or to be loved, be lovable, repeating. The spine does not recreate the wonderful spine design on the tuck, however, instead opting for a more generic, if accurate, reproduction of a traditional bound book spine, with Theory 11 getting the publisher's treatment underneath the author's name above. Opening the cover of the box set reveals a gorgeously illustrated and detailed bookplate, down to the inclusion of the read property of and date and location stamps you might find emblazoned within a book loaned out by a fine university or public library. The 2 included decks are found nested within a nicely crafted tray. Speaking of Derren Brown, many of the fans in the TGW audience, the Magic fans that is, know that he's had a prominent, long, and successful career producing shows for the stage and screen dedicated to illusion, mentalism, magic, and showmanship, including actually an ongoing turn on Broadway with his show Secret. In fact, I think it's safe to say that Brown's notoriety as a magician may only be runner-up to the likes of Copperfield and David Blaine. Brown has also authored several books about magic and illusion, including a book entitled Confessions of a Conjurer, which of course makes the choices behind the design of this deck all the more obvious and of course relevant. The collaboration with Theory 11 merely reiterates what many already know, that within the world of magic and magic performance, Derren Brown is here to stay. Taking the cards out of the box reveals that the card backs include a dark green monochromatic representation of the design found on the back of the box, highly detailed floral scrollwork, and ornate framing inset within a poker-style border. The 2-way design includes the mirrored DB all-seeing eye logo within the filigree field. And although you wouldn't be faulted for looking, there's no marking system or secrets to be found on the card backs, despite the involvement of the preeminent illusionist behind them. In the past, I've criticized Theory 11 for taking what is often a gorgeous, multi-toned back design on the tuck box and distilling it to its detriment into a single color, often boring colorway on the cards themselves. In this case, however, I feel that the choice really works. The deck feels very classic and eminently playable, perfectly at home on a poker table or a close-up magic pad, which is what makes the following revelation so surprising. Rather than simply use the standard faces like you might get on a deck of bicycle rider backs and admittedly 90% of the Theory 11 catalog, a choice many would argue facilitates their use in Magic, this deck goes a decidedly different route. With a single notable exception we'll talk about in a moment, this is a completely custom deck. Pips, indices, even the pip placement are unique and customized, even as they remain completely legible. The aces are especially gorgeous, with all of them being what you'd traditionally categorize as power aces, which allows the deck to really live up to the fully illustrated first edition promise on the Tuck Flap seal. Each one features different iconography. The Ace of Diamonds includes an anchor and rope. The Ace of Hearts shows us 2 crossed iron keys, and the Ace of Clubs has 2 mirrored crows or ravens eyeing each other. The Ace of Spades includes a full color hand holding an Ace of Spades with the image of a hand holding an Ace of Spades and so on, like staring into a never-ending reflection in a hall of mirrors. Also included in the deck are two identical jokers, a suited devil emerging from a cloud with a halo above his horned head. There's an ad card that recycles the brilliant bookplate image on the inside cover of the box set, and a double backer, which of course is great for Magic. To that end, perhaps in an effort to keep the deck fairly recognizable and suitable for Magic tricks, the court cards straddle the line between offering us something classic and something new, even if they are plucked from history. Rather than use standard bicycle courts, here Derren Brown and Theory 11 opt to use Arco style court cards, which, although familiar to be sure, will feel different to anyone who's become used to the look of standard bicycle royalty, a good compromise between custom and standard. The decks, like all Theory 11 decks, are printed by the United States Playing Card Company, and as you can expect, they handle beautifully. Springs, fans, pharaohs, and flourishes look and feel great. The Derren Brown playing cards are of course available at theory11.com and for the reasonable price of $9.95. But if you want a chance to win a deck of Derren Brown playing cards directly from me, here's what you have to do. 1. Like this video. 2. Be a subscriber to this channel. And 3. Let me know in a comment below what your favorite book of all time is. Doesn't matter if it's fiction or non-fiction, just let me know. Anyway, congrats to Jason Liu, who out of 674 entrants wins my half brick of curated top decks of 2019. 6 beautiful decks coming your way, Jason. Contact me via Instagram to claim your prize. One footnote, however, the current global situation has slowed down the posting of some prizes, so anyone who's been lucky enough to win a prize from me, just hang tight, just please be a little patient. Thank you guys so much for watching. Click here to subscribe if you haven't already, and click here to check out another Theory 11 deck I reviewed. As usual, I've been the Gentleman Wake. I hope to see you again next time.